This video is a timeline of human history, and in it, every single centimeter is going to represent 1 year. We're starting our timeline at that tree. That is kilometer 0, and we're starting our history timeline back when our ancestors still lived in trees on the African savanna. That was 4.2 million years ago, back when they could barely walk. They were just figuring out how. They sort of hobbled. They couldn't run like I can now. Since that was 4.2 million years ago, to get to modern day, we're going to have to run 42 kilometers. That's a full-length marathon. Our short and hairy ancestors have a long way to go, and so do I. For the next 38 kilometers of our timeline, the average human lifespan is only 20 years. Right now, 3 Australopithecines, are walking on volcanic ash, and their footprints will eventually fossilize in what will eventually become Kenya. And those footprints, still in rock today, will be evidence that those people were walking mostly upright. At this point in our timeline, our ancestors have figured out how to make stone tools, and with them, they can fill a rather unique ecological niche. What they do is they wait for animals to kill each other, and then once all the other scavengers have picked the bones clean, these humans can come in with their stones and break open the bones to get at the marrow. There's no other species that can do that. It might be kind of gruesome, but it's a big step in our evolution and our history. It'll be another 1.4 million years. That's 14 more kilometers before we have another big development like this. By now, like me, our ancestors have started to sweat. Homo erectus has evolved, and like me, they're mostly hairless. And their ability to sweat is a big deal because it means that they can cool their bodies down while running long distances. We sweat like no other animals can. An antelope might be a lot faster than us, but if we can outrun it, if we can literally run it to death, run it till it overheats, then we can catch up with it and have lunch. Running is one of the defining characteristics of humans. You could say we were born to run. That's why this is a marathon timeline. By now, humans have figured out how to create and control fire. This is a very big deal in our history because it means we can cook our food. And cooking our food means that we can get more energy into our bodies in less time. And that means that we can feed the hungriest of our human organs. That's our brain. Our brain takes a lot of energy, and by cooking food, we can evolve bigger and bigger brains. You could say that fire literally made us smarter. But humans aren't smart enough yet for us to decide to call them wise men. For that, it'll take another 14 kilometers, another 1.4 million years for humans to develop that size of a brain. With only 3 kilometers left in our timeline till modern day, that's 300,000 years, finally, now, our species, Homo sapien, evolve. Homo sapiens means wise one, because we have a pretty high opinion of ourselves, don't we? A man living right now will become the ancestor of all men. If you have a Y chromosome like I do, you can trace it back all the way to him. By now, our shorter and stockier cousins, Neanderthals, have evolved. And like us, they use stone tools and fire. But unlike us, they will not make it till the end of our timeline. There is a woman living right now in our timeline in Africa, and she will become the ancestor for all of humanity. Your mitochondria in almost all of your cells, as well as in mine, they can be traced back directly to her. Right now, humans start to wear clothes for the first time right now. In an instant, a giant volcano erupts, and that creates a 10-year-long winter. And that winter nearly causes the human population to go extinct. Our population plummets to only around 1,000 individuals. Somehow, we make it through, and we continue. We leave Africa. For the first time, Homo sapiens walk their way into Europe, and they walk through Asia to Australia. But around this time, Neanderthals go extinct. We probably helped cause their extinction. And in a way, they are still with us. Around 4% of my DNA is Neanderthal DNA. But in a literal sense, they are gone forever. But what a different world it might be if they were walking alongside us to this day. By now, humankind's best friend, the dog, has been domesticated. And we've figured out how to make twisted rope and cave paintings and pottery. And now we make our way to North America, which means we are on every single continent other than Antarctica. There are still only around 100,000 to 300,000 humans at this point, but it's about to change. By now we've started farming. We domesticate corn, wheat, and rice. And with farming, we can settle down and our populations can specialize. The human population explodes to 2 million people. We start building with bricks, we smelt with copper, we roll the first wheel into the Bronze Age, and we start writing. And with writing, our thoughts can take on a physical life of their own, and that allows for human ideas to soar. We create the first fractions, we figure out how to measure the size of the earth, and we print the first books. Our population reaches 1 billion people. We fly planes, we walk on the moon, and it's modern day. That is human history. To go from walking on our hind legs to inventing the wheel, that took 42 kilometers. But to go from inventing planes to inventing rockets that could fly us to the moon, that only took 66 centimeters. That is exponential development. But if you want to get a sense of how this timeline, the human history timeline, fits into the story of everything, we need an entirely different timeline. And I actually did that earlier this year by setting up thousands and thousands of handmade dominoes in this warehouse when I made a history of the universe in 13,799 dominoes. Go and check that video out if you want to get more context for what our story truly looks like. If you like this video and want to see more like it, then please give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. For the record, for logistical reasons, I ran the marathon and filmed the video on different days. I literally just ran the marathon like 2 minutes ago. 42 kilometers is a long way. It took me 4 hours and 40 minutes to run it. Now that's not terrible timing. It's just far. But it was neat to like trace those steps from a spiritually scientific sort of lens. It was cool for me. I'm gonna go eat all the food and then lie down. Thanks for watching.